In the year 2424, amid the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, I, Dr. Elena Vargas, space archaeologist, alongside my colleague, James Dalton, a seasoned security specialist, found ourselves gliding through the cosmos aboard the sleek starship Nova Seeker. Our mission was simple yet thrilling, to unravel the mysteries of the universe's past. But what awaited us was beyond our wildest imaginations. It was a routine scan of a lesser explored sector that led us to it, an anomalous signal, weak but unmistakable, emanating from the depths of space. The signal, a ghostly echo from a long-forgotten era, was traced to the Ulysses, a colony ship lost for centuries. Its story was the stuff of space legend, a vessel that set out to colonize new worlds but vanished without a trace. Approaching the Ulysses, the sight was haunting. The colossal ship, a behemoth of ancient engineering, floated adrift in the silent void, its hull scarred and pitted from the ravages of time. The once proud symbol of human endeavor, now a ghostly relic, its story etched in every dent and scratch. Boarding the Ulysses was like stepping into a time capsule. The airlock hissed open, revealing corridors shrouded in darkness, the only light coming from our torches. Walls lined with old photographs and faded maps of distant galaxies spoke of a time when the unknown beckoned with promise. The echo of our footsteps was a stark reminder of the silence that had claimed the ship. Our mission was clear: to uncover the story of the Ulysses and its lost souls. But as we delved deeper, the ship seemed to whisper secrets of its own, secrets that lay hidden in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. The control room was a sight to behold, a testament to a bygone era's technology. Dust-covered consoles and flickering screens lined the walls. Amidst the decay, a solitary holodisplay still glimmered faintly, casting eerie shadows. It was here that we found the first clue, a log entry, frozen in time, hinting at a voyage that began with hope but succumbed to an unfathomable darkness. As we ventured further, the ship seemed to creak and groan around us, as if awakening from a long slumber. The corridors were a maze of shadows and echoes, each turn revealing remnants of lives once lived. Abandoned quarters, still adorned with personal belongings, held stories of families and pioneers who had embarked on a journey across the stars. Then, the first true chill of horror gripped us. We stumbled upon a child's room, frozen in time. Toys scattered on the floor, a half-finished drawing on a desk, and a small, dusty space suit hung on the wall. It was a poignant reminder of the young lives aboard, their fates unknown, their stories untold. But it was in the depths of the ship where we found the heart of the mystery. A vast chamber, home to rows of cryo chambers, each holding a passenger in stasis. Their peaceful faces belied the terror that must have gripped the ship in its final moments. It was a discovery that redefined our mission. No longer were we mere archaeologists. We were now potential saviors, guardians of a forgotten past. Amid the silence, James whispered, "Elena, do you feel it? It's like the ship is still alive, holding its breath, waiting." His words trailed off as we gazed at the cryo chambers. It was a surreal tableau, the frozen faces of the past looking upon us, the intruders of their silent world. But our discovery was just the beginning. The ship held more secrets, more stories etched into its walls. We knew our journey into the heart of the Ulysses was far from over. With each step, we delved deeper into the unknown, into the darkness that had claimed this once mighty vessel. As we prepared to delve further into the mysteries of the Ulysses, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone. That the ship, with all its secrets and shadows, was watching us, its silent corridors echoing with the whispers of the past. But our determination was unshaken. We were here to uncover the truth, to bring light to the darkness. And so, we pressed on, into the depths of the Ulysses, into the heart of its mystery. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. As James and I ventured further into the Ulysses, the air grew heavier, thick with the scent of antiquity and decay. The ship, a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, seemed to stretch endlessly before us, its secrets shrouded in darkness. Our torches flickered across the walls, revealing glimpses of a life once vibrant, a communal dining hall with tables set as if for a meal, a library with shelves of books, their pages yellowed with age, and a recreation room, where the ghostly echoes of laughter seemed to linger. Each room told a story of hope, dreams, and a journey that had taken a sinister turn. In the dim light, we stumbled upon an old classroom, its chairs still arranged in neat rows. On the chalkboard, a faded lesson about the stars, a poignant reminder of the aspirations that had propelled the Ulysses into the unknown. Dust-covered children's drawings of planets and stars adorned the walls, a stark contrast to the silence that now enveloped us. The further we explored, the more the ship revealed its dual nature. It was a sanctuary of human ambition and a tomb of its failures. The eerie stillness was punctuated by the creaks and groans of the ship, as if it were speaking to us, telling its tale in a language of sighs and whispers. We found the captain's quarters, a room frozen in time. The captain's log lay open on the desk, the last entry an ominous foreboding of trouble. Personal effects, a family photo, a worn uniform, and a half-empty cup of coffee painted a picture of a life abruptly interrupted. It was in the bowels of the Ulysses that we made our most chilling discovery. The engine room, a cathedral of ancient technology, lay in ruins. Twisted metal and shattered consoles told of a catastrophe, a desperate battle against an unseen foe. The air was thick with the scent of burnt wiring and lost hopes. As we delved deeper, the ship seemed to come alive around us. Lights flickered to life, illuminating our path, guiding us towards the heart of the mystery. It was as if the Ulysses, sensing our presence, was awakening from a long slumber, its systems slowly stirring back to life. The corridors led us to the medical bay, a room that seemed untouched by time. Vials of medicine still sat neatly on shelves, and medical instruments lay arranged on trays. It was here we found the first hint of the tragedy that had befallen the Ulysses. Medical records, hastily scribbled notes of a crew battling an unknown ailment, a disease that seemed to have come from the very depths of space. Our journey took us next to the crew's quarters. Personal belongings, still neatly arranged, gave a glimpse into the lives of those who had called the Ulysses home. Uniforms hung in lockers, diaries lay open on beds, their last entries speaking of fear and confusion. It was a haunting reminder of the human element in this interstellar tragedy. In the heart of the ship, we discovered the command center, a room that once buzzed with activity, now silent and dark. The main console, covered in dust, flickered to life at our touch, its screens lighting up with star charts and navigation data. It was a map of the Ulysses' final journey, a path that had led it into uncharted territories and, ultimately, to its doom. Amidst the decay, a faint sound caught our attention. A distant, rhythmic tapping, as if someone or something was still alive, still trying to communicate. It was a sound that sent shivers down our spines, a reminder that we were not alone in this ghostly vessel. As we explored the Ulysses, piecing together its story, we couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The ship, with its creaking hulls and flickering lights, seemed to have a life of its own, its corridors echoing with the ghosts of the past. But our mission was far from over. The Ulysses still held many secrets, and we were determined to uncover them all. As we prepared to delve further into the depths of the ship, we knew that whatever we found would change the course of history. The Ulysses, a behemoth of forgotten tales, continued to reveal its secrets as James and I delved deeper. Our next challenge was to restore power to the ship, a task that felt akin to awakening a sleeping giant. We made our way to the auxiliary control room, a hub of wires and consoles, coated in layers of dust and silence. The air was heavy with the scent of old metal and the faint buzz of latent energy. The control panels, a complex array of switches and screens, were a testament to a bygone era's technological prowess. Our hands hovered over the controls, aware that the act of restoring power was a leap into the unknown. With a deep breath, I initiated the startup sequence. Lights flickered, screens blinked into life, and the hum of machinery filled the air, a symphony of awakening. The ship groaned, its systems stirring from decades of slumber. It was a moment of triumph and apprehension as the Ulysses slowly came back to life. As power coursed through the ship, hidden layers revealed themselves. Doors hissed open, revealing long-sealed rooms. In the crew's mess hall, holographic projectors flickered to life, casting images of distant galaxies on the walls. The sight was mesmerizing, a window to the universe as seen through the eyes of those who had journeyed on the Ulysses. Our exploration led us to the engineering bay, a marvel of ancient technology. The room was dominated by the ship's core, a towering structure of pipes and conduits, pulsating with newly awakened energy. Gauges and monitors lit up, displaying readings of the ship's vital functions. It was a heart that had started beating again, fueling the Ulysses with life. In the observatory, a room perched at the top of the ship, we gazed out at the cosmos through a massive viewport. Stars and nebulae shone brightly against the backdrop of endless space, a reminder of the vastness we were a part of. It was a humbling sight, one that filled us with awe and a renewed sense of purpose. But our success was not without its challenges. As power returned, so did the remnants of the ship's past. Alarms blared, signaling malfunctions in various sectors. It was as if the Ulysses, in its awakening, was recalling the trauma of its final moments. We scrambled to the control panels, attempting to stabilize the systems. Each flashing light and urgent beep was a race against time, a battle to save the ship from reliving its demise. Our efforts led us to the environmental control room, where we discovered the life support systems teetering on the edge of failure. Working swiftly, we rerouted power, stabilized oxygen levels, and restored artificial gravity. It was a delicate dance with the ship's ancient technology, each move a calculated risk. As the ship stabilized, a sense of calm settled over us. The Ulysses, once a silent tomb, now buzzed with energy and light. Its corridors, once dark and foreboding, were now illuminated, revealing their secrets more willingly. In the midst of our efforts, we uncovered a small, personal artifact, a locket containing a photo of a young family, smiling as if unaware of the fate that awaited them. It was a poignant reminder of the lives intertwined with the ship, each a story cut short by the tragedy that had befallen the Ulysses. With the power restored, we had breathed new life into the ship, but our journey was far from over. The Ulysses, with its revived systems, beckoned us to delve deeper into its mysteries. We knew that what lay ahead would be more challenging, more revealing of the horrors that had taken place within its walls. As we prepared to venture further, I couldn't help but feel a connection to the ship and its lost souls. The Ulysses, once a vessel of hope and exploration, now entrusted its story to us, its final witnesses. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. With the Ulysses now humming with a semblance of life, James and I ventured deeper into the ship's heart. Our torches illuminated the path ahead, casting long shadows on the walls. The air was filled with the electric hum of reactivated systems, a stark contrast to the eerie silence that had once dominated. Our journey led us to a section of the ship that seemed untouched by time. The door to the cryo chamber bay hissed open, revealing a sight that took our breath away. Rows upon rows of cryo chambers lined the room, each containing a passenger in stasis. It was a sight both awe-inspiring and haunting, a frozen moment of hope and despair. The chambers, sleek and cylindrical, were adorned with status lights that blinked rhythmically, like a heartbeat echoing through the chamber. We walked among them, our footsteps echoing in the vast room. Each chamber held a story, a life suspended in time, waiting for a chance to continue. As we examined the chambers, we came across one that stood out. Its status lights flickered erratically, and the glass was fogged, obscuring the face of the occupant. It was a young woman, her features peaceful yet haunting. On the chamber's display, her name was listed as Lily Marquez, botanist. Her presence here, in stasis, was a mystery begging to be unraveled. In the center of the room stood a control console, its screens displaying data on each occupant. We discovered that the cryo chambers were part of an ambitious project to preserve the best of humanity, a Noah's Ark of sorts, carrying scientists, artists, and thinkers to a new world. But something had gone horribly wrong. As we accessed the ship's logs through the console, we uncovered a tale of tragedy. The Ulysses had encountered an unknown cosmic phenomenon, causing widespread system failures. In a desperate bid to preserve human life, the crew had initiated an emergency cryostasis protocol. But the log ended abruptly, leaving the fate of the ship and its passengers shrouded in mystery. The discovery of the cryo chambers changed everything. What was once a mission to uncover the past now became a rescue operation. We were no longer mere explorers. We were the last hope for the souls aboard the Ulysses. Our task was daunting. The systems that maintained the cryo chambers were failing, and time was running out. We needed to find a way to revive the occupants safely, to bring them back from their century-long slumber. As we delved into the ship's archives, searching for answers, we couldn't shake the feeling that the Ulysses still held many secrets, that the true nature of the tragedy that befell it was yet to be revealed. The ship, now a mix of light and shadow, seemed to watch us, its corridors whispering with the echoes of the past. But our resolve was unshaken. We were determined to uncover the truth and save the lives entrusted to the Ulysses. With each step, each discovery, we felt more connected to the ship and its mission, a bond forged in the shared experience of survival against all odds. The task ahead was monumental. We needed to carefully assess each cryo chamber to understand the state of its occupant and the technology that sustained them. It was a race against time, each moment precious, each decision a matter of life and death. As we worked, the ship seemed to respond to our efforts. Lights flickered on in long darkened corridors, systems whirred to life, and the ship's central AI, dormant for centuries, began to stir. It was as if the Ulysses was awakening from a long nightmare, ready to complete its journey. But with each step forward, new challenges arose. The ship's failing systems, strained by the years of neglect, required constant attention. And in the shadows, something stirred, a reminder that the ship held more than just frozen lives. Yet, amidst the challenges, there was hope. As we toiled to revive the cryo chambers, we uncovered stories of the passengers, glimpses into their lives before the tragedy. Each face in the chambers became a person with dreams and fears, not just a name on a screen. Our mission on the Ulysses had taken on a new meaning. We were no longer just uncovering the past. We were fighting to restore a future, to honor the legacy of those who had set out on this journey with dreams of a new world. With the cryo chambers now a beacon of hope amidst the dark corridors of the Ulysses, James and I turned our attention to uncovering the full story of the ship. Our next discovery was perhaps the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the ship's log. We found it in the captain's quarters, a room that seemed to have been frozen in time. The captain's personal effects lay scattered as if he had just stepped out. His desk held the central terminal, a gateway to the ship's heart and history. As we activated the terminal, the screen flickered to life, illuminating the room with a ghostly glow. The log was extensive, a detailed account of the Ulysses' journey. We pored over it, our eyes scanning the text for clues. The entries began with optimism and excitement. The crew's words spoke of new frontiers and discoveries, of a journey that was not just a mission but a dream. But as we delved deeper, the tone shifted. Entries became sporadic, filled with reports of system malfunctions and growing concerns about an unknown cosmic phenomenon they had encountered. The phenomenon was unlike anything documented before. Descriptions of strange spatial distortions and time anomalies filled the pages. It was clear that the crew had stumbled upon something extraordinary, something dangerous. As the situation worsened, the entries grew more frantic. The phenomenon had begun to affect the ship, causing critical systems to fail and plunging the crew into chaos. In a final, desperate act, the captain ordered the initiation of the emergency cryostasis protocol, hoping to preserve the lives of the passengers until help could arrive. But the most chilling entry was the last. It spoke of a mysterious presence on the ship, something that had emerged from the spatial distortions. The captain's final words were a warning, a plea for anyone who found the Ulysses to beware of the unknown threat that lurked within its walls. With the ship's log now revealing a narrative of hope turned to horror, our mission took on a new urgency. The Ulysses was not just a tomb, it was a warning, a bearer of secrets that could unravel the very fabric of space and time. Determined to understand the full extent of the threat and to save the occupants of the cryochambers, we pressed on. Our journey through the Ulysses had become more than an exploration. It was a quest to piece together a cosmic puzzle, to confront the unknown and secure a safe passage for the ship's silent passengers. Amidst the shadows and whispers of the Ulysses, we knew that our every step was watched, not just by the eyes of the past, but by something else, something that had awakened along with the ship. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The revelation of the ship's log had cast a new shadow over our mission. The Ulysses, once a vessel of hope, now seemed to harbor a lurking menace, a mystery wrapped in the unknown. With a mix of determination and apprehension, James and I continued our exploration, seeking to unlock the remaining secrets of the ship. Our journey led us to the ship's engineering hub, a vast chamber of pipes, consoles, and flickering lights. It was here that the Ulysses' heart beat, a complex network of systems that sustained the giant vessel. As we navigated through the maze of machinery, the ship felt alive, its pulse resonating through the metal walls. Suddenly, a sharp jolt ran through the ship. Warning sirens blared, and red lights flashed, bathing the room in an ominous glow. The ship trembled, and we heard the grinding of metal as doors throughout the Ulysses began to seal shut. We were trapped. Rushing to the nearest console, we scrambled to assess the situation. The ship's AI, now partially reactivated, displayed a series of critical errors. A major system malfunction had triggered a lockdown, isolating sections of the ship and cutting off our route to the cryochambers. Our hearts raced as we worked to override the lockdown. The ship's systems, ancient and complex, resisted our efforts. It was as if the Ulysses itself was fighting us, its long-dormant defense mechanisms springing to life in response to our intrusion. As we battled with the controls, the ship shook again, more violently this time. A sense of urgency gripped us. We knew the time was running out for both us and the passengers in cryostasis. Each passing moment brought new risks, new dangers. The malfunction had more than just physical implications. It seemed to awaken something within the ship. We began to hear sounds, whispers, clanks, and distant thuds echoing through the corridors. It was as if the ship was speaking to us, its voice a symphony of creaks and groans. In the midst of the chaos, a chilling realization dawned upon us. The presence mentioned in the captain's log, the unknown threat, might still be aboard the Ulysses. We were not alone. With each step, each turn of a corridor, the atmosphere grew heavier, the air colder. The ship's failing systems cast shadows that danced along the walls, creating forms and figures in the darkness. Our lights seemed dimmer, our equipment less reliable. Despite the mounting obstacles, we pushed forward, driven by a relentless desire to save the Ulysses and its frozen passengers. The ship, with its myriad of secrets and lurking dangers, had become more than just a mission. It was a test of our courage, a challenge to our resolve. In the heart of the Ulysses, amidst the malfunction and danger, we knew that the key to salvation lay in understanding the true nature of the threat that had doomed the ship centuries ago. Our journey was far from over, and the answers we sought were still shrouded in the depths of the ship. Trapped within the bowels of the Ulysses, amidst the chaos of the malfunctioning ship, James and I felt the weight of isolation and danger pressing in on us. The eerie echoes and whispers that filled the corridors seemed to grow more insistent, as if heralding the presence of something ancient and malevolent. As we navigated through the dimly lit passageways, our path illuminated only by the flickering lights of the ship and our own torches, we stumbled upon a section of the ship that had remained hidden, sealed off since the Ulysses' last fateful journey. The door, heavy and imposing, creaked open, revealing a chamber unlike any other we had encountered. The room was vast, its walls lined with strange, organic-looking structures that pulsed with a faint, bioluminescent glow. The air was thick and stagnant, carrying a scent that was both alien and unsettling. It was here that we found it, the remnants of an ancient, hostile alien organism. The organism was unlike anything we had seen or studied before. It sprawled across the walls and ceiling, a network of tendrils and sacs that seemed to throb with a life of their own. In the dim light, it appeared dormant, yet there was a palpable sense of awareness, as if it were watching us, biding its time. As we cautiously moved through the chamber, our sensors picked up faint signs of activity within the organism. It was slowly regenerating, drawing power from the ship's systems, feeding on the energy that we had unwittingly restored. The realization hit us with chilling clarity. This was the threat the captain had warned of in his final log entry. The presence of the organism explained the strange phenomena and the catastrophic events that had befallen the Ulysses. It was not just a passenger, it was a parasite, one that had latched onto the ship, bringing with it a nightmare of cosmic proportions. We knew we had to act quickly. The organism, if left unchecked, could threaten not only the lives of the Cryostasis passengers, but also the entire galaxy if the Ulysses were to reach civilization. Our mission had taken on a new, desperate dimension. We had to find a way to neutralize the threat. As we prepared to retreat and devise a plan, the ship trembled violently, throwing us off balance. The organism reacted to the disturbance, its tendrils twitching and writhing as if agitated. We realized with horror that the Ulysses was not just a battleground. It was a living, breathing entity in a symbiotic relationship with the alien invader. With our path back to the control room now blocked by the spreading organism, we were forced to navigate through uncharted areas of the ship. The Ulysses, with its labyrinthine corridors and decaying systems, became a maze of danger and uncertainty. Each step we took was fraught with peril, but our resolve was unbroken. We knew that the fate of the Ulysses and its long-lost passengers rested in our hands. The ship's secrets, once hidden in the shadows, were now coming to light, revealing a story of survival, sacrifice, and an ancient, unrelenting threat. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. In the eerie confines of the Ulysses, with the alien menace revealing itself, James and I found ourselves plunged into a labyrinth of uncertainty. The ship, a once proud testament to human ambition, had become a treacherous maze, its corridors and rooms morphing into a hazardous terrain dominated by the alien organism. The creature's presence altered the very essence of the ship. Corridors that once led to familiar sections now opened into strange, altered spaces where the walls pulsed with the organism's bioluminescent glow. The air was heavy with an alien energy, making each breath a struggle against a suffocating, unseen force. Our journey through the ship became a game of survival. We dodged through collapsing corridors, evaded tendrils that seemed to reach out with a mind of their own, and navigated through rooms that had been transformed into nests of the alien presence. The Ulysses, in its corrupted state, was testing our every skill and resolve. In the midst of this chaos, we stumbled upon a forgotten engineering lab, its equipment still intact. It was a haven amidst the nightmare, offering a brief respite and a glimmer of hope. Here, we found old blueprints of the Ulysses and logs of experimental technology that had been in development, tools that could potentially help us against the alien threat. As we scoured through the data, we pieced together a plan. The ship's original design included a series of emergency protocols and defense mechanisms, some of which were designed to protect against biological threats. Though never intended for a menace of this magnitude, these systems were our best chance at hindering the organism's spread. Our plan was risky. We had to reactivate the ship's defense systems, a task that required navigating through the most heavily infested areas. With each step, the danger grew, but so did our determination. We were the Ulysses' last hope, the only chance for the ship and its slumbering passengers to see the light of another day. Armed with our newfound knowledge and a sense of desperate urgency, we set out on our perilous mission. The ship's failing systems and the ever-present threat of the organism created a symphony of hazards. But amidst the fear and uncertainty, there was also a sense of awe. We were witnessing firsthand the incredible resilience and adaptability of life, albeit in its most terrifying form. Our path led us through the ship's central axis, a spine-like corridor that ran the length of the Ulysses. Here, the infestation was at its worst. The walls were alive with the organism, pulsating and writhing as if in response to our presence. It was a surreal, haunting landscape, a fusion of technology and alien biology. As we moved, we relied on the ship's old blueprints to guide us, navigating through maintenance tunnels and service ducts to avoid the most heavily infested areas. The journey was claustrophobic and disorienting, a crawl through the dark veins of the Ulysses. Every so often, we would emerge into larger sections of the ship, each encounter with the open spaces a gamble. We found remnants of the crew's last stand against the organism, barricades, scorch walls, and abandoned weapons. It was a testament to their bravery and the ferocity of the threat they faced. The deeper we delved into the ship, the more we felt the alien presence pressing in on us. It was as if the organism knew we were there, understood our intent, and was doing everything in its power to stop us. The air crackled with an unseen energy, a constant reminder that we were in uncharted territory, both literally and figuratively. Despite the dangers, we pushed forward, driven by a mix of fear, fascination, and a sense of duty. We were no longer just explorers or rescuers. We were warriors in a battle against a threat that defied understanding, a fight for control of a ship that had become a world unto itself. Our journey through the Ulysses was more than a physical challenge. It was a mental and emotional odyssey. With each step, we were not only navigating the ship but also confronting our own fears and doubts. The Ulysses, with its endless corridors and hidden dangers, was a mirror to our own souls, reflecting the depths of our courage and the strength of our resolve. As James and I navigated the perilous maze of the Ulysses, our mission became increasingly complex. The ship, a colossal puzzle of corridors and secrets, revealed to us its final and most human challenge: the survivors in the cryo chambers. Their fate hung in the balance, dependent on our next actions. The cryo chamber bay, now within reach but heavily guarded by the alien organism's tendrils, was a haunting sight. The chambers, lined in rows, contained the last remnants of the Ulysses's passengers, their faces frozen in time, unaware of the struggle unfolding around them. Our dilemma was profound. Awakening the survivors presented a moral quandary. We were uncertain of the condition they would be in after centuries in stasis, and we feared the potential trauma and disorientation they would face. Moreover, the presence of the alien organism posed a significant risk. Could we guarantee their safety amidst such danger? As we deliberated, the ship groaned around us, a reminder of the urgency of our situation. The Ulysses was barely holding together, its systems strained to their limits. Time was a luxury we did not have. In the end, our decision was guided by the very essence of our mission, to save and protect. We resolved to awaken a single survivor, one who could potentially provide crucial insights into the ship's history and the nature of the threat we faced. The process of reviving a survivor from cryostasis was delicate and fraught with uncertainty. We chose a chamber at random, the occupant a young scientist named Dr. Sarachin, a geneticist. As the revival process initiated, we watched with bated breath, the chamber hissing and steaming as it returned to life. Dr. Chen's awakening was a moment of tense anticipation. She emerged from stasis disoriented and weak, her eyes blinking against the dim light. We quickly provided medical assistance, stabilizing her condition as she struggled to comprehend her surroundings in the passage of time. Her initial reaction was one of shock and disbelief. We gently explained the situation, the fate of the Ulysses, and our mission. As the reality of her circumstances sank in, Dr. Chen's shock turned to resolve. She insisted on helping us, providing valuable insights into the ship's systems and the possible nature of the alien organism. With Dr. Chen's assistance, we gained a new perspective on our mission. Her knowledge of genetics and the ship's research logs helped us piece together a more comprehensive picture of the Ulysses's encounter with the alien entity. It was a crucial breakthrough, one that brought us closer to understanding the threat and formulating a plan to neutralize it. As we prepared to continue our journey through the ship, now with a survivor in tow, we felt a renewed sense of hope. The Ulysses, with all its shadows and dangers, was no longer a lonely battleground. We were a team, united by a common goal, to reclaim the ship and protect the lives it held within its walls. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. With Dr. Sarachin now part of our team, the dynamics of our mission aboard the Ulysses shifted. Her knowledge of the ship's original mission and her expertise in genetics provided us with invaluable insights. The task at hand was daunting, but Sarah's presence brought a new sense of hope. We decided to awaken another survivor, believing that more hands and minds would increase our chances of overcoming the challenges we faced. The next cryo chamber we chose belonged to a young engineer named Alex Torres. The revival process was tense. Each second felt like an eternity as we waited for signs of life. Finally, Alex's eyes fluttered open, and after initial disorientation, he too joined our cause, bolstered by a determination to understand the fate that had befallen the ship. Together, we ventured deeper into the Ulysses, now a team of 4, each bringing a unique skill set to the table. Sarah's scientific acumen, Alex's engineering prowess, James's security expertise, and my archaeological knowledge combined to form a formidable force. Our next task was to navigate to the ship's main control center, a feat that was easier said than done. The alien organism had spread throughout the ship, making our journey a perilous one. We moved cautiously, avoiding the tendrils that seemed to have a life of their own, creeping and crawling along the walls and ceilings. As we progressed, the ship's condition worsened. Power fluctuations became more frequent, and the structural integrity of the Ulysses was compromised in several areas. We were in a race against time, needing to reach the control center before the ship succumbed to the alien infestation or collapsed under its own decay. Our journey was not without its setbacks. At one point, a corridor we were traversing collapsed, separating our group. James and Alex were cut off from Sarah and me. With no way to reach them and communication lines disrupted by the ship's deteriorating state, we had to press on, trusting that they would find another way to the control center. Sarah and I navigated through a series of maintenance tunnels, a claustrophobic and disorienting experience. The tunnels were narrow, the air stale, and the only sound was our own breathing and the distant, ominous creaks of the ship. It was during these moments of isolation that the reality of our situation truly sank in. We were a tiny speck of life in a vast, indifferent universe, fighting against an ancient cosmic horror aboard a dying ship. After what seemed like hours, we emerged into the main control center. It was a vast room, dominated by a massive viewport that offered a panoramic view of the star-studded void outside. The control panels were a maze of blinking lights and flickering screens, a testament to the technological prowess of a bygone era. Our first task was to assess the ship's overall condition. The systems were failing. The alien organism had infiltrated critical circuits, disrupting operations. We needed to devise a plan to stop the spread of the organism and restore the Ulysses to a state where it could sustain life and possibly make it back to civilization. As we worked, we held on to the hope that James and Alex would find their way to us. The Ulysses, with all its darkness and danger, had become a battlefield, and we were the last soldiers standing, fighting not just for our own survival, but for the legacy of those who had embarked on this journey centuries ago. In the heart of the Ulysses, Sarah and I worked tirelessly in the control center, attempting to regain command over the ship's failing systems. The alien organism's infiltration had caused widespread malfunctions, turning our task into a complex battle against both time and an unseen enemy. Meanwhile, James and Alex, separated from us by the collapsed corridor, faced their own set of challenges. They navigated through alternative routes, battling through areas heavily infested with the organism. Despite the odds, their resolve never wavered, their determination fueled by the knowledge that the safety of the entire ship rested on our collective efforts. Back in the control center, Sarah and I managed to stabilize some of the ship's critical systems. We rerouted power to essential areas, including the life support system for the cryochambers, buying us more time to formulate a plan to deal with the alien threat. Our breakthrough came when Sarah discovered a series of archived files detailing experimental protocols developed for the Ulysses. Among these was a contingency plan for biohazard containment, a protocol never fully tested but designed to isolate and eliminate biological threats. It was a long shot, but it was the best chance we had. Activating the protocol required access to several key systems spread across the ship. Sarah and I split up to cover more ground, each tasked with activating specific systems. The ship was a maze of danger, with the organism reacting aggressively to our efforts, as if aware of our plan to destroy it. As I navigated through the dimly lit corridors, the ship felt more alive than ever. The walls pulsed with the organism's presence, and the air was charged with a palpable sense of hostility. Every step was a fight, not just against the physical barriers, but against the creeping dread that filled the ship. In one of the engineering bays, I encountered a nest of the organism, a writhing mass of tendrils that blocked my path. Using the tools at my disposal, I carefully maneuvered around it, narrowly avoiding contact with the toxic entity. Meanwhile, Sarah faced her own perilous journey, working to activate the life support override in another part of the ship. Her scientific expertise proved invaluable, allowing her to navigate the complex systems with a deftness born of desperation and determination. Despite the distance between us, our efforts were united by a common goal: to reclaim the Ulysses from the grip of the ancient alien horror. The ship, with its flickering lights and groaning hull, seemed to be fighting alongside us, its systems responding to our efforts with a renewed vigor. Finally, after hours of relentless effort, we succeeded in activating the biohazard containment protocol. The ship shuddered as the system came online, sending a surge of energy through the corridors. The organism reacted violently, its tendrils thrashing as the containment fields began to isolate and neutralize it. As the alien presence receded, a sense of triumph washed over us. We had taken the first crucial step in reclaiming the Ulysses, but our victory was tempered by the knowledge that the battle was far from over. The ship was still in a precarious state, and the fate of the survivors in cryostasis remained uncertain. With the organism now under control, our next task was to reunite with James and Alex and to work together to restore the Ulysses to a condition that could support life. The ship, a symbol of human achievement and resilience, had become our home, our battleground, and our responsibility. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. With the biohazard containment protocol in effect, the alien organism's grip on the Ulysses began to weaken. Sarah and I, having completed our respective tasks, hurried through the now more navigable corridors to reunite with James and Alex. The ship, once a maze of alien-infested passageways, felt like it was slowly coming back to life, its systems stabilizing. In a stroke of luck, we found James and Alex in one of the main corridors, battered but unbroken. Their journey had been just as harrowing, facing off against the organism's aggressive assaults. Together again, our team's morale was bolstered. We were 4 individuals united by a singular purpose: to save the Ulysses and its precious cargo of human life. Our next challenge was to confront the heart of the alien menace. The containment protocol had pushed the organism back but not destroyed it. For that, we needed to use the ship's old technology, repurposing it into a weapon against the alien. The center of the alien infestation was located in the ship's lower engineering deck, a place where the organism's presence was strongest. As we descended into the depths of the Ulysses, the air grew colder, and the walls were slick with the residue of the alien creature. The engineering deck was unrecognizable, transformed into a nest of the alien entity. The core of the infestation pulsed with a malevolent energy, a mass of tendrils and sacs that throbbed in the dim light. It was here that we would make our stand. Using the ship's old defense mechanisms, we rigged a series of energy emitters, devices that could disrupt the alien cellular structure. It was a gamble. The technology was ancient and not designed for this purpose. But it was all we had. As we activated the emitters, the ship trembled. A high-pitched whine filled the air, the sound of ancient machinery pushed to its limits. The alien reacted violently, its tendrils lashing out, trying to destroy the source of its agony. The confrontation was intense. The air crackled with energy as the emitters worked to break down the alien structure. We maneuvered through the deck, dodging the creature's desperate attacks, keeping the emitters running, and repairing them when they faltered. In the midst of the chaos, there was a moment where time seemed to stand still. I realized the magnitude of what we were doing, battling an ancient cosmic horror aboard a centuries-old ship, a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. Finally, with a shuddering groan that echoed through the ship, the core of the infestation collapsed. The tendrils withered, and the pulsating sacs deflated. The alien presence, which had dominated the Ulysses for so long, was finally defeated. Exhausted but victorious, we made our way back to the control center. The ship was still in a fragile state, but with the alien threat neutralized, we could focus on repairing the Ulysses and ensuring the safety of the passengers in cryostasis. Our journey on the Ulysses had been one of unimaginable challenges and horrors, but it had also been a journey of discovery, resilience, and hope. We had come to the ship as explorers and have become its guardians, fighting not just for our own survival, but for the legacy of those who had set out on this grand voyage centuries ago. As we set to work on the final repairs, there was a sense of unity among us. We were no longer just a group of individuals. We had become a team, bonded by our shared experiences and the trials we had overcome. The Ulysses, with all its secrets and stories, had become a part of us. The task ahead was daunting. We needed to restore the ship to a habitable state, repair the life support systems, and ensure that the cryo chambers remained functional until we could safely revive the remaining survivors. But for the first time since we boarded the Ulysses, the end of our journey seemed within reach. As we labored, the ship seemed to respond to our efforts. Lights flickered on in long darkened corridors, systems whirred back to life, and the air grew warmer. The Ulysses, once a derelict relic of the past, was awakening to a new future. In that moment, I realized that our story was not just one of survival against the odds. It was a testament to the enduring spirit of exploration, the courage to face the unknown, and the power of unity in the face of adversity. The Ulysses, a ship lost to time and space, had found its way back, guided by the determination and resilience of its unexpected saviors. In the aftermath of our final confrontation with the alien threat, the Ulysses, once a derelict shadow of its former glory, began its transformation back into a vessel of hope. Our team, exhausted yet invigorated by our hard-won victory, worked diligently to repair the ship's systems and prepare for the journey back to civilization. The cryo chambers, now stable and secure, held the survivors of the Ulysses, silent witnesses to the incredible events that had unfolded. Our next task was to chart a course back home, a journey that would take us across the vast expanse of space, back to a world that had long thought the Ulysses lost. As we set the coordinates and initiated the engines, the ship hummed with a renewed sense of purpose. The stars outside the viewport beckoned, a tapestry of light against the eternal darkness, guiding our path. The Ulysses, reborn from the ashes of its past, was ready to complete its journey, carrying with it the stories and dreams of its long-slumbering passengers. Our time aboard the ship had changed us. We had faced unimaginable horrors, confronted the unknown, and emerged victorious. But more than that, we had uncovered a story of human endeavor, resilience, and the unyielding pursuit of knowledge. The Ulysses, a bridge between the past and the future, was a testament to the indomitable human spirit. As the ship sailed through the cosmos, I found myself reflecting on our adventure. We had delved into the heart of darkness and emerged into the light, a journey that had revealed as much about ourselves as it had about the mysteries of the universe. The Ulysses, with all its secrets unveiled, was more than just a ship. It was a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the face of the greatest perils, humanity's quest for exploration and understanding endures. As I conclude this chapter of the story, I turn to you, the reader. Write in the comments below the video, what do you think about this story? Do you think the characters did the right thing? Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories.